This is a brief demo of the disaster area as yet unnamed MIDI foot controlled loop selector. It's a very compact box. It's 10 by 2 by 2.5. So you can see this fits on a pedal board nicely. It's fairly tall, but it needs to be in order to fit all the connectivity. So from left to right, we have input. This is a buffer select. This will be deleted on the production version. And then send and return for loops 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. The output and a TRS jack. It's tip ring sleeve. It's a stereo connector for controlling things like amplifier channels or functionality on other devices. This can be used for things like Strymon pedal favorite switches. It's got MIDI out and in, a USB, and a power jack, which is 9 volts DC center negative. It's a standard Boss style. The unit pulls about 200 milliamps when everything is on. That's all the LEDs and all the relays. So it can be powered from a single loop of a Pedal Power 2, or you can use a dedicated power supply for it. When you power it on, it has a couple of selectable options. If you hold the leftmost switch, it allows you to choose the MIDI channel. So the MIDI channel is chosen using the 4 rightmost foot switches to send it binary. So with all LEDs off, it's MIDI channel 1, MIDI channel 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. Once you've selected the desired MIDI channel, you press and hold the center button here to save. Its LED will blink, and then you're ready to go. You're in play mode. Likewise, if you hold the 4th button, then we go into what I call TRS bypass select. Since there's no industry standard conventions for TRS switching on amplifiers, what we've done here is made it so that when you're bypassed, you can tell the switcher how to set your amplifier or effects channels. So for example, on a Fender amp that has reverb and tremolo, the reverb is on when the contact is open. In other words, when the switch is not connected. But the tremolo is on when the switch is connected or when the contact is closed. So what you would do is if you wanted, for example, on a Fender amplifier, to have reverb and tremolo both off when it was bypassed, what you would need to do is tell it the tip is shorted, which corresponds to the reverb, and the sleeve is open, which corresponds to the tremolo. Once you've set that the way you want, you press and hold the save, and thereafter, when you select bypass mode, it will automatically engage the correct relays for the TRS connector. Okay, so when you're actually in play mode, pressing any of these foot switches engages an effects loop setup. And I'll show you guys how to do that in a second. So, for example, pressing the rightmost button engages preset 1. When we press it again, it goes off. So if I press preset 1, you can see that the second LED lights briefly. That tells us that only the second loop is on in this particular preset. Pressing it again turns the preset off. What happens if I want to change my preset, you ask? Well, that's very easy. You press and hold the center button, and the center button will blink. You can select any of the 5 loops you want, along with the TRS settings. So we have green, red, orange, or off, and this lets us say the tip, the ring, the tip and the ring, or neither. Once you have the loop set the way you want, you press and hold any of these foot switches to overwrite the current settings. This will blink, and then you press and hold the center button to get into preset mode again. So you can see you can do all this very easily with your feet. So if we press preset 1, we would expect to see 5, 3, and 1 alight, and then they go off to let us know that we're in preset 1. So these are the settings we've just saved. This controller has 3 banks of 5 presets each, so we're in bank 1, bank 2, bank 3, and the production versions will have a 4th bank or 4th mode that sends MIDI only, so no loops will be sent, but dedicated MIDI commands will be available for each of the 5 foot switches. So that's it in a nutshell. Any questions, please email us through the site, disasterareadesigns.com, or check out our Facebook page, facebook.com/disasterareaamps. Thank you.